Okay, finally, you got the bees. You got them in this box or whatever you got them in. So this pasteboard box or anything. You need to install them, if you didn't put them in a box, a high box to start with, which I don't recommend because it's too heavy. But anyway, the location, you need to have your location already planned ahead of time, really. And you need to have your hive boxes prepared. That's under the being prepared. Are you going to use foundation completely? If you're a new beekeeper and don't have any other facilities, that's probably what you're going to use. A little more difficult to keep the bees in there. If you had another colony that already has some frames in it that has some honey and some brood, but put a frame that's got some open brood in it, and give them a little bit of honey and pollen so they can keep those going while they're gathering provisions. But that's a good enticement to keep the swarm in there. They're prone to want to take care of those once they find them in there. And that's without any other bees on them. Take them out, get all your bees off, and put them in a box, and then put your swarm in there. And so have your equipment ready, and then you transfer them in there. I usually like to just dump a few of them out of this box into the top of an open hive. Just put a small amount of them, a little handful, small amount, and close it up, and then put the rest of them out on a sheet of some kind, or a large piece of pasteboard. That'll work. Anything to keep them out of the grass and dirt, things would be helpful. They will go in even on that, but it helps them if they're on a good clean surface. Dump your bees out there, and those inside will begin to scent a little bit. You know, this is not bee home, and it's an amazing thing, interesting thing to watch the bees start marching into that hive, and when they do, they all go in there and hopefully stay. And then you need to feed them. As Judy pointed, you need to feed swarm. I think that's a good recommendation to feed the sugar water, a half and half, 50% sugar, 50% water. And if you're not familiar with that formula, a pint of sugar and a pint of water are equal in weight and in volume. So if you have 4 pounds of sugar you're mixing up, you use half a gallon of water, 2 quarts. That's the same weight. A gallon of water generally weighs 8 pounds, and so you can divide that out by pints or quarts or whatever, and use that amount. Sugar that you buy at the store in smaller volumes comes in 4-pound bags now, so 4 pounds and a half a gallon of water is a good mixture. I like to heat that and warm it up good, be sure all that's dissolved good. Well, that's my session, Mel. And Mel's got a different thing. Did you have any questions about that you want to ask, or something you thought about? Swarms are just a lot of fun, really. They'll sometimes turn into a little bit of a chore. Some people charge for doing this, and I don't fault that, because you're actually doing a professional service, getting these bees out of circulation. You call them free bees, but they're not free, because you've got to, you have to hold your equipment, you've got to use your gasoline, your time, and besides that, it's pretty disappointing when you get home and put them in a box and they don't stay, and then it's all for naught. Except the experience. You're more experienced than you were. Mel's got a different approach to them, and this is called trapping or enticing bees to get in a box without them. And he's been very successful at doing that. And there are there's trap boxes that you can use to catch bees in. And I'm gonna let Mel come talk to me about that.